Hey guys, David Flowers. I wanted to share something. I felt like I should share this. It's personal, at least to give you some insight to my soul a bit. I think we should do that more as Christians. I really do. I think it brings out our humanity. It reveals that we're all on a journey together. That no one has arrived. Some of the most well-known, uh, renowned, popular, influential people, those people we look up to, everybody has insecurities, struggles, things they have a difficult time giving up to the Lord. I want to tell you that at an early age, I probably seventh grade began to, I maybe call them visions, seeing myself in front of large crowds and speaking, and this at a time when that scared me to death, and that continued off and on through my teenage years, and then again when I was 19 years old, after I'd repented of my sins and my rebellion, I felt the Lord doing this with me again and revealing things that involve my future. Um, this has always, I guess, in some ways, been in the back of my mind, longing to see certain things happen, and especially right now when you enter into what I'd rightfully call a wilderness period, you are. You're faced with those visions. You're faced with these dreams, and you don't know if they're ever going to come to pass. And the Lord starts really sifting you down to Jesus, sifting you down to Christ, and nothing else. What I really wanted to talk to you about and share with you is that has been a constant struggle with me, but the Lord has been speaking to me, I think, in the last couple of days about how we need to give up on the next big thing. I mean, maybe the Lord has shown us some things, and the Lord's going to do that in time, but it's not about really the next big thing. It is about being formed, fashioned, transformed, shaped into the image of God, His Son, Jesus. That's what it's about. Really, I'm not just saying that. I really believe that. It is really about, this journey is about being fashioned into the image of God's Son and being busy about the kingdom. And life is up and down. There are victories. There are defeats, trials, or tribulation. There are hopes and dreams that are dashed. Let's be honest, it happens. And so I've been reading this book here. I don't know if you can see that, if it's reading properly. Prototype by Jonathan Martin. I'm supposed to be doing a Q&A with him, but I've fallen behind. I'm trying to catch up. Give me a break. This is what he said, and I was reading this the other night, and it really spoke to me. He said, the notion of obscurity, that obscurity as a curse, is so ingrained in our culture that even some people I know in vocational ministry feel that if they're not adequately known or recognized, they've either done something wrong or God is unhappy with them. If only they knew that God draws people into obscurity, into the wilderness, not because He's angry with them or because they aren't successful enough, because He wants to go deeper in His relationship with them. Far from being punishment, judgment, or a curse, the wilderness is a gift. It's where we can experience the primal delight of being fully known and delighted in by God. Okay, so, Jonathan Martin. Jonathan shares a little bit of his own visions and dreams the Lord has given him, and was really obsessed with being influential and making a difference. And finally he gave up on that and realized that really God's desire is to draw us deeper and deeper into his Son Jesus. Through that, God is able to do more with us. In fact, the more we're in the wilderness and the deeper the Lord takes us, even in pain and suffering and trials, we come out on the other side more useful for him. So this is something that I'm really trying to embrace. This isn't the first time I've been in wilderness period, and this is not near as bad, really, I guess, when compared to when I left vocational ministry in 2006. If you follow the blog, you know all about that. I'm not going to get into that, but that was quite a wilderness time for me. And even then, what I felt like the Lord was trying to show me was who I am in Him. And the Father calls to the Son that you're my beloved, and God the Father says His favor rests on Jesus, and this is before, this is at Jesus' baptism, before He's done any work. We need to hear that. We need to hear that, the voice of the Father telling us that we're accepted and He loves us. There's nothing greater than that. And being continually shaped and formed into the image of His Son. I mean, that is the ultimate big thing. It's not the next thing in ministry. It's not the next big church, big job, or even get into material things, bigger house, nicer car, all of that stuff. And that's not a particular struggle of mine, but it might be for some of you. Really, we should stop thinking that way. And maybe the Lord does give us the desires of our heart, and that we've been carrying around with us, and things that we dream and we've envisioned, and maybe those visions are even from the Lord. Maybe He will. Maybe He will. Maybe those things will come to pass. And maybe you feel like you need to just claim that the Lord is going to do it, and then set it aside, and know that what the Lord really wants is for us to just accept our place in Him, that we would know Christ, and that we would be content with Christ, what He says about us. Find peace, rest, fulfillment, purpose, joy in that. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if you're feeling any of this, but if that speaks to you, I want you to think about that. Maybe we need to quit thinking that way. Next big thing. It doesn't get any bigger than Jesus.